Hi, friends.
This is History for the Books. I'm Katie,
I'm Allie.
and it is the second week of October.
Ooh.
Getting closer and closer to Halloween,
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah. Can't wait.
This week we have a special treat. A 2-star book. Maybe a 1-star for Allie.
Mine's a 1.
Oh, okay. Mine's a 2.
I wasn't going to give the rating away, but if we're talking about it.
Since we're here. Today we are discussing Layla by Colleen Hoover. If you are a Coho fan, I'm gonna need you to see yourself out. I'm just kidding.
Preference this by saying I have read other Coho books and I have rated 2 at least, a 5-star and a 4-star. So I do not hate Coho. I just hated this book.
Okay, fine.
Thanks. Thanks for
I
coming to my TED Talk.
I'm not on a Coho hate train here. I'm just saying that this was not her best work.
I think by looking at the reviews, I think a lot of people agree with that.
Okay.
I think.
And we again do not have the physical copy, so I'm sorry you cannot see it sitting
Sorry.
here.
Yeah.
But maybe next time.
I listened to the audiobook and that was a regret. I didn't really like it, but
I can't remember how I read it. I think I read it on my phone. So, but after I read it,
I think you did too.
didn't want to own it that bad.
Yeah.
So, can you unlock
Anyways, I can.
this? So basically, our narrator is a man called Leeds.
Lead poisoning.
Can we talk about how stupid her names are?
I legit made a note in my audiobook pretty much that was like, why does she always pick these odd names that I will never remember?
Yeah.
Because they're not basic.
Yep.
Leeds and freaking Sable. I'm
Yep.
like Willow was at least okay. Layla is like, I mean, that's pretty decent, I think, but like, I'm like, why?
Yeah, it's bad. So, anyways, Leeds is a musician, and he and his band that he doesn't like being in, by the way, got this gig at a wedding. So they're playing and they play and blah blah blah. And then after the gig or whatever, Leeds meets Layla
Mhm.
at her sister's wedding because it
She's a
turns out to
bridesmaid.
be her sister
Mhm.
who's getting married. And so the wedding is taking place at this bed and breakfast, like hotel-y kind of place.
In
Not a hotel,
Kansas.
but like a bed and breakfast.
Mhm.
And they are both like drawn to each other.
In Lebanon, Kansas. Did you catch that?
Nope. It's been a long time
Fun
since
fact.
read
Didn't know there
this.
was such a thing, but
Yeah, there's a
carry
Lebanon
on.
everywhere basically because there's Lebanon, Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lebanon, Tennessee
because
is
that's where
who.
Hunter lived. He moved from Lebanon, Missouri to Lebanon, Ohio.
What
It was weird.
the? Lebanon, Tennessee is who
Yeah.
the county's named after.
Yep.
Anyways, go ahead.
So, they are like infatuated with each other. They're so attracted to each other and they just want to be up each other's butts.
All the time.
So, they decide after the wedding's over and everyone else has left, they're going to stay together.
Yeah.
Okay? And so they do that for
Like weeks.
weeks, several days at the bed and breakfast.
And then they like stay
Yeah,
together
and then
for like,
yeah,
they're like, we're just gonna take a extended vacation to Tennessee where you live
yeah,
for weeks. And then, oh, just kidding.
yeah,
We're gonna live together.
yeah. So,
I gotta go get pizza. I'll be right back.
yeah, go ahead. So, they are obsessed with each other. They stay there for a couple days, and they realize they have to get back to reality, but not really because they're gonna move in with each other very shortly after. So, Leeds ends up posting a picture of himself and Layla on his social media, and this girl named Sable, who is also the president of the Leeds Gabriel fan club
Yeah.
and is like highly obsessed with him, is commenting on his pictures and like messaging him and being a psychopath.
Yeah.
And so she's just crazy. And so Leeds has to explain that he was with her at one point and she's basically like crazy
But
cuckoo for
he
Cocoa
didn't
Puffs.
even, I don't think he explained the full thing to Layla because at one point he said that Layla didn't ever know that she had a fan club. He never told her
Mm.
that.
Oh, okay.
And so I think he told her, like, oh, this is my ex. And like she had a lot of issues, but he did not tell her how freaking crazy she was. So
Okay, but she's psycho,
she's
okay?
psycho.
And she shows up to their house one day, and Layla opens the door because Leeds is about to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And she opens the door, and there's standing Sable with a gun. And she shoots Layla, okay? And Leeds. She
Mm-hmm.
shoots both of them. And so should I go there right now?
No, just carry it on.
Okay. So after that, Layla spends some time in the hospital and she's like recovering or whatever. And Leeds is her person that whole time.
Mm-hmm.
He's like her caregiver. He's the only person she had, which, by the way, where is her entire family? Because they were all just at this wedding.
They did go to the hospital with her and um also stayed to take care of her for a while. And also, Leeds mentions how annoying it was having her mom there taking care of her and
Love that.
stuff.
Leeds is a horrible, horrible
I
person.
hate Leeds. I hate him
So just,
so much. Anyways, but yeah, they were there for a time and then she got better and they left.
well, she got better.
Yeah.
She still has severe depression. She's
Mhm.
not eating,
Mhm.
anxiety, memory loss.
Mhm.
She's just, she,
She's not the same person, bubbly person that she was that Leeds met. Yeah.
and Leeds says that a bunch. She's like, this is not the Layla I fell in love with.
Mhm.
Okay. And he is missing who he fell in love with,
Yeah.
even though,
It was
even though.
very rushed, I guess, like love and whatnot. But yeah, anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. So, after all this time of tending to her wounds and like making sure she's okay, he is gonna rent the bed and breakfast where they met so that they can like reconnect or whatever. Okay.
Mhm.
Are you recalling?
It wasn't really up for rent. He talked to a realtor and said that he was going to do a trial run of buying it.
Oh, that's not how it works.
And the realtor was like, okay. And yeah, go. Yep. So he's not renting it at
Okay.
all,
Oh, yeah.
actually.
Yeah. Okay. So, after they get there
Hmm.
and they're staying there, things are starting to go haywire. There's objects moving. There's
Layla
like,
punches a mirror.
what?
Layla punches a mirror as soon as they get there. And Leeds is like, dude, did you just punch that mirror? And she's like, no, it just broke. And he's like, okay, cool.
Well, notes are being played on the piano, like
Hmm.
all sorts of crazy crap. And so Leeds installs security cameras
In
in
this,
this place that is not his
yes. And he's not renting, he's just doing a trial run.
because he wants to see what's happening. If it's Layla
Yeah,
doing all of this crap and she's just forgetting about it, or if there's a ghost in there.
because he doesn't believe in stuff like that.
Right.
Even at the beginning, he's like, I don't believe, like, I'm not
Yeah.
religious or spiritual or whatever.
So then one night he tries to communicate because he realizes it's not Layla. Like he
Hmm.
sees on the camera things are just moving.
Hmm.
So he tries to talk to it and he realizes if he opens his laptop that this spirit will just type to him.
Hmm. Yep. They communicated by piano keys first
Yeah.
and then moved on because he's like, what's your name? And she's like, how am I supposed to type my name in the piano? Anyways.
Yeah. So the spirit tells Leeds that she doesn't know who she is, how long she's been there, what she is, or anything,
Hmm.
but that she can slip into Layla's body
Hmm.
and like inhabit it.
Yeah. She did
Which,
know her name.
yeah. So Leeds is like enthralled. This spirit's name, does he name her?
Willow. No, she names herself.
Okay, so her name is Willow.
Hmm.
Okay, and he wants her to keep inhabiting Layla's body,
Yeah.
which is so cringe and gross. Like your girlfriend just got shot by your ex, but you want this ghost lady to take over so you can spend time with her?
Literally the whole time I was like, literally your girlfriend just got shot. She's traumatized. She's depressed. Like, and you don't want to be around
You're like
her.
encouraging a spirit to take over her body so
Yeah,
that you
she's
can.
not good enough. You can just actually, I'd rather have you. So,
So the Willow does that. She starts inhabiting Layla's body. Her and Leeds are falling in love now. Him and Willow, the ghost in Layla's body.
mm-hmm.
They watch movies together. They go do like they can't leave, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure, but they do things around the house together.
Willow can't leave, but Leeds and Layla do for a while to
Yeah.
go get tacos or
He
something.
admits at one point that he cannot wait for Layla to go to
Mm-hmm.
sleep so that Willow can take over and
Yep.
they can spend time together.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
He does it like every night.
Yep. So, um, soon they know that they're gonna have to leave this house because they're
Wait, I just want to bring up the fact that Leeds also tries to drug Layla to get her to go to sleep so that he can talk to Willow.
awesome. Love
He
that.
feeds her like he gets ready to put two sleeping pills in her wine, and then Willow like knocks it out of his hand. She's like, "Dude, you're about to drug your girlfriend. Like, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm a bad person. Wow, I can't believe I was about to do that."
The realization hit him in the face.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so they have to leave though because they didn't buy it, they didn't rent it, they were just doing this weird ass trial run that is
Mhm.
not a thing. And so he is thinking of buying this place
Mhm.
so that he can continue doing this to Layla and continue having a relationship with Willow.
Yeah. And it's starting to take a toll on her body too. So she's not getting enough sleep at night
Mm-hmm.
because she's being possessed. And so her body is becoming tired. And Willow's like, I can't keep control because she keeps trying to like fall asleep pretty much.
Yep. So, um, turns out that Leeds had brought a ring to the place
Mm-hmm.
because he was going to propose to Layla before she got shot.
Mm-hmm.
Or, no, sometime. He was going to propose to Layla.
Yeah. But he planned on proposing on this trip to
Okay.
her
So, until he met Willow.
until he met Willow.
And
Yep.
then now he doesn't want to propose to Layla
Yeah.
anymore
Because he's
because
in love.
he wants to be with Willow. But Layla finds the ring,
Mm-hmm.
and so Leeds ends up proposing to her,
Mm-hmm.
and so now they're engaged.
Also, way, way, way back, you didn't mention this, but when they got there, Leeds doesn't believe in paranormal stuff, so he gets on like a paranormal thing. And he's
I
like,
was just
"This,
about to talk about it.
oh, go ahead."
So Leeds goes on this website or this forum, I guess,
Yeah.
talking about all of the weird stuff that's happening because he wants to figure out like
Mhm.
how he's able to communicate with this spirit or
Yeah.
whatever. And so he meets someone on there called Undercover Inc. And eventually, Undercover Inc. comes to the house, but turns out he is a displaced spirit.
Which I didn't see that coming. I saw the major twist coming, not obviously like not in the way I didn't know how all the details were going to be worked out, but I didn't see that coming and it's never really explained,
No, it's weird.
which is bizarre.
He's a displaced spirit like Willow, and he's inhabiting the body of someone named Ronald to conduct an interview.
Mhm. And this whole thing is like from the very beginning, it's through an interview point of view with Leeds.
Yeah. So, are they in the interview? Are they trying to figure out why Layla is the way she is?
They're trying to figure out why Willow is stuck where she is and like who
Ugh.
she was before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Meanwhile, Layla's tied up upstairs
yeah, she's literally tied down. I remember that. Like, what the heck?
by Leeds. Leeds is the one that tied her. So,
Yeah. So, listen. Undercover Inc. or Ronald and Leeds realize I'm giving away the big plot
this is a
twist.
spoiler. So, if you want to stop, please stop.
Oh yeah, we probably should start saying that. So they figure out that when Sable shot Layla,
Mm-hmm.
Leeds picked up the gun and shot Sable.
Mm-hmm.
So they were both dead for a couple minutes.
Layla and Sable were both dead. at the same time because it took, how did she explain that? When Layla was on her way to the hospital, Sable was bleeding out, and I think she was resuscitated in the hospital. Anyways, it matched out
They
to
were
their
dead at the same time.
they're dying. Yep. Uh-huh.
And so their spirits or their souls came out of their bodies and swapped.
Mhm.
Okay, so Sable's spirit has been in Layla's body this whole time,
Yes.
which is why she's depressed and angry and anxious, and she's not the same person she was before.
Bulimic.
Yep. So, what happened to Layla's soul, you might ask? Oh, it's Willow.
Yeah.
So, the person that he fell in love with is the person he's falling in love with now,
Mhm.
just not in a body.
Right.
So,
Which is this whole big thing about how people fall in love with people's souls, and does the
yeah.
body even matter because you fall in love with somebody's soul? And
So, listen. The thing that happened next, insanity. They realized that the only way to get the spirit of Layla back into Layla's body is to kill her for a second.
yeah,
So what do? Throw that bitch in the swimming pool and let her drown. Don't worry though, lifeguard Leeds, he's ready.
Leeds drowns her. Leeds does that.
Yeah, but he's ready to like
Right.
save her when the spirit
But he's
switches. But
holding her down.
Leeds does drown her. And he's scared because he could lose her forever or whatever, but
Yeah.
he's still drowning her ass.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But he justifies it as like he's drowning Sable actually. He's not really drowning Layla,
right,
he's drowning Sable. So like
right,
die.
yeah. So when she dies, they make the switcheroo.
He like yells for his her sister. Her sister's there staying the night.
Mm-hmm.
Layla's
I
is.
remember that, and she's
And
like, "What are you doing?"
yeah, she's like, dude, you're trying to kill my sister. And like, anyways, the ambulance comes and gets Layla and carries her away and resuscitates her, and they did the switcheroo, and she's
Yep.
fine.
When she wakes up, she's Willow Layla
Yeah,
back to normal.
yeah, and it's love and everything else. And her sister still doesn't trust Leeds, as you shouldn't, even if he wasn't trying to drown her. Like, just doesn't seem like a trustworthy guy. I hate
Yeah,
his guts.
he's horrible. So, I rated this book. Okay, pause.
Katie, better pause.
Listen, I've explained this to you already, so I'm gonna need you to calm down. I read Layla in my coho phase, okay, when everything Colleen Hoover wrote was gold to
Hmm.
me because I had not read in such a long time that any book you gave me, I was like 5 stars.
Which
Yep,
is basically how
5 stars.
everybody starts out, I feel like. So
Um,
you're
but
excused.
I didn't rate it a 5. I gave it a 4.
Yeah.
However, upon further investigation
And after hearing my thoughts.
and upon reading a lot the past 2 years and seeing what an actual good book is like, this book is a 2 for me.
I gave it a 1. And I have no regrets about that. And yeah, no, I gave it a 1
She's
because
spiteful.
I am spiteful. I just hated Leeds so much. And I don't care like how much soulmates and everything else.
I
Like
hated him a lot too. I hated him.
freaking Sable shot you, yeah, but you didn't know that, and you were still treating her like trash, even though you still thought that was Layla. You were treating her like trash the whole entire time. I do not care what anybody
Yeah.
says. I think he's like, so there's something about, they said egocentric, that's egocentric of you. And I'm like, yeah, no, legit. I think Sable said that. And I'm like, no, he's egocentric.
Yeah.
100%.
We don't like him. I'm
I
excited.
saw the plot twist coming.
I'm excited to hear what you've
I
done
bet
for.
you are. It's so much better than this. I'll tell you a real ghost love story.
Okay, I'm ready.
God, just
Wait,
so
can I
mad.
put hold, pause
Yeah,
hold,
sure.
please? Say hold.
Say less.
Okay, so my grandma Jessie, Aaliyah, if you're listening or watching this, please, for the love of God, I need you to comment that I'm telling the truth. So my great grandma, Grandma Jessie, we call her Gigi. She, I love her so much. She's passed away now, But when she was still alive, she swore to everyone that she played DS. You remember those?
Mhm.
DS? With her dead boyfriend, that they played together. Also, she said her dead dog Casper was still trotting around her house all the time. She just believed in like ghosts, obviously, but she thought that the people she loved who had passed were with her all the time. And so she played DS with her dead boyfriend. And
Her dead boyfriend from a long time ago, or
I'm
like,
not sure. Aaliyah, fact check me, please.
because if it was a long time ago, it's gonna match up with the story I'm about to tell you.
Maybe it's about Gigi.
Well, okay, so obviously this is a little different than how we do it typically. I'm about to tell you some real life stories of people who actually did fall in love with ghosts or still are in love with ghosts actually. Um this was a very super, if you're on my Goodreads, this is a 75-page book about just like this guy who collected these stories of people who fell in love with ghosts, and he changed their names in the book so that they could remain
Was it a
anonymous.
good read, though?
I haven't completely finished it. I have like a couple more stories to go, but actually, yeah, they were all pretty entertaining.
Okay, I'm going to read it.
It's 75 pages, so it's honest, and there's only 7 reviews on Goodreads.
How did you find it?
I typed into the Google. I said people who have fell in love with ghosts, and this was on there on Amazon, and I said,
Okay. You said
okay,
sold.
cool.
I'll read it. Was
Yeah.
it free?
I don't think so. I think it was like $2 something.
Okay.
It was on Kindle. I think it's only available on Kindle. I could be
Okay.
wrong. Okay, well so in this book there's several stories, but I just wanted to pick like 2 to cover. Okay, so the first one is recent, which is why I picked it. Most of them are, for the most part. This young woman moves to an apartment in New York in 2016. And when she takes a shower one day before work, she sees writing come up on her mirror.
Stop.
And it says, "Hi, my name's Frank."
Stop it.
I'm getting chills.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
So "Hi, my name's Frank. Want to play a game?"
I just got chills. Stop.
And she tells the ghost that she has to go to work.
She's like, I can't right now. I'm so sorry.
She doesn't feel threatened. I think he actually ended up writing like a smiley face at the end of it.
That's even scarier. This is Saw. And also,
That's what I thought.
can we talk about my writing on the mirror? What if it said that? I would shit my pants.
Maybe he just wants to love you.
Oh my God.
Okay, so she tells the ghost she has to go to work, but she can play after she gets back or talk to him after she gets back. She is very scared. Like it does say that. I'm kind of glossing over that, but she was freaked out, but she didn't seem threatened. So she's like, okay, I don't feel like this is evil or anything. So I'm just going to continue. So, so once again, she takes she gets back home from work. She takes another shower and a smiley face appears on the mirror again. And she
Stop.
goes, "Frank, you shouldn't be watching me in the shower."
Miss Ma'am.
And she says she saw a towel flow across and get thrown to her. So she puts this towel over herself, right? And she says,
This can't be real.
that's what the author says.
Okay.
Some of these, like, none of these seem real, but like, how'd you make them up?
How do authors make anything
I don't
up?
know. Shut up. I'm just gonna believe it's real, honestly.
Okay,
That's what I
it's
want.
real. For all intents and purposes, it's real.
So she's like, "Frank, you shouldn't be watching me in the shower. What game did you want to play?" And he said, "Kiss Chase."
What? That's like when
This is gonna be
when you're talking to guys for the first time, they're like, "You want to play 20 questions?"
Yeah, right. It's like, actually, I know where this is going. Thanks. So she's like, "What's that?" And he says, "Close your eyes and find out." So she's in the shower. She's completely nude besides this towel that she has on. She closes her eyes. She's like, and when she does, Frank kisses her and she feels it. And at first she's startled, obviously. She's like, "What the heck?" And she's like, "Actually, That
He's a
felt pretty
good
good.
kisser.
So she says, do it again. And he kisses her lips, kisses her neck, and then kisses her chest. And then after that, it goes into this big, explicit, long thing about how he just knew exactly what I was thinking and exactly where. Which there's another story in this book too that is the same way. Like this ghost knew exactly what I wanted and knew how to please me pretty much. So
Well, hey.
knew exactly where to touch me and everything. So she fell in love with him. And it said in the book that she like called off of work for 2 weeks so that she could stay at home and like have sex with this ghost. Stop.
She's like, sorry, you can't come in today. Ghost Daddy wants to take me on a date in the bedroom. Her boss is like, actually, you're fired. Please go
She
to the
never gets
hospital.
fired. She never gets fired. She goes back to work. They I forgot what I was at. So she falls in love and they are still happily together.
No,
To
they're not.
And Frank proposed to her in 2020.
I'm sorry. He's like, honey, can you go get your own ring and then bring it back here and then I'll put it on the bathroom counter when you're showering and write, will you marry me on the mirror?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, it's very elaborate.
How are they going to get
situation.
married?
Oh, it said in the book, it's like you can't actually get married. Like they're not actually gonna get married, but like they propose. It's a symbolic thing. Marriage is just a concept.
Marriage is a concept. Oh my god.
So they obviously can't get married, and she said the only downfall is that she can't move out of her apartment because Frank can't leave. She said everything else is a plus. I love it. It's a good time.
She said, my life is great. My life is grand. I will stay forever.
With my man. That was good. That was good. So she can't leave. She also found out things about him. So like he died in that same apartment when he was 23 from a hereditary illness.
And that's confirmed real life.
I don't know. I didn't go. I just
No,
read
I
the
mean,
book.
like, does it say if she, like, found, like,
She found a
death
photo of him.
certificate? Is he hot?
That's what she said. No, she said he's hot.
Okay, good.
She said, I think the quote was, she was very much pleased with how he looked in the photo and now has a vision whenever they're doing stuff, pretty much.
Great.
Yep. So they are still together. I think that was 2020. It's obviously
I need her
2023
Twitter.
now. She's anonymous, so we have no idea who it is.
I'm going to tweet out into the world, are you in love with Frank the Ghost? If you are, we're covering you on our podcast.
Well, yes, that's what I was thinking when I was doing this stuff. I was like, these people, if they ever come across this, they are going to know exactly that we are talking about them and that now.
No, but for real though, if she is listening somehow, can you please let me come meet Frank?
Honestly, yeah, like we would go to New York to see your apartment and Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real. I'll go.
I got another destination for us too.
Okay,
This
let's
next
hear
one.
about it.
Okay, so this one was interesting because this girl in this book's name is changed to Katie. She also is living in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
So, or she was. So, Katie, these are all very young. I'm going to tell you three actually because the other one's really good too.
Okay.
And they're all very witty first chapters. Like one was ghouls just want to have fun, or like I don't know what this one was. I don't know. Anyways, she's living in Kansas City and she keeps getting postcards delivered to her mail from like Hawaii. And it's like, "Hey, Katie, I hope you're doing well. XOXO Scott." And she's like, "Scott? Who the F is that?"
And how does he know where I live?
Yeah. And so for months, she gets like over 200 postcards from Scott from Hawaii. And she's like, this is too much, like over a course of like a year or something.
Return to sender.
So she goes to the post office and she said, "Hey, look, I've gotten so many of these. Like, where are these coming from?" So the post office lady is able to like narrow down the truck that picks it up in Hawaii. I forget where it was. It was like on the Big Island or something like that, and narrows it down to the truck. So there's only a few houses in that area that it could have came from. She's like, you know what? I just want to know. So I'm just gonna jump the gun and go to Hawaii.
Stop.
So she goes to Hawaii. She goes to this place where these postcards are coming from. She asks everybody in town, like, hey, do you know somebody named Scott? Does anybody know Scott? I don't know who he is, yada yada. And I forget how it goes, but somewhere in the middle, she meets this guy who's Hawaiian and he's like a fisherman or something. And he goes, you're looking for a guy named Scott, right? Who would have lived in this area. And she's like, yeah. And he said, I think I know who you're talking about. But the problem is he died 6 months ago on our ship during a storm or something like that. And she's like, can't be. I'm getting postcards, dog. And he's like, well, here in Hawaii, like it is a really big custom. Like soulmates are a really big deal, pretty much. And so he's like, do you know? She's like, I don't know a Scott though. I don't know a Scott. And he's like describing this Scott to her. And she's like, did he have a lion tattoo on his leg? And he said, yeah, actually he did. And she goes, oh my God, I know who we're talking about. His name wasn't Scott when she knew him. They went to high school together. They were madly in love, and his dad sent him off to military. It sent him off to the military, and he deserted the military, and so he was hiding out in Hawaii, like. And they thought that too. The guy who met her was like, I don't know. He just seemed very anxious. He didn't go out to like town a lot. He was hiding out from somebody, and apparently they get a lot of people who do that. And so she's like, "Oh my god, it's Jesse or whatever." And so he's like, "I'll take you to his grave right now, actually." And she's like, "Okay." So she takes him to Jesse's grave, and she's bent down, like paying her respects and stuff, and she hears a voice inside her head, like, "Hello, Katie."
Did it have to be Katie?
It was Katie in the book.
I
Yes.
know, but did it? Do you have to give me chills? Like,
Sorry. Hello, Katie. And she's like, "What the heck? What's going on?
God, is that you?
God?" Sounds like Jesse, but I can't be sure. So he tells her, she's like, how are you talking to me? And he's like, I am not alive, but like I'm always with you. Like I'm always like I can speak to you pretty much in your head, but I'm not alive anymore. And she's like, oh
So
my
why
God.
is he sending her postcards instead of just popping in her brain like, hey girl?
I think she probably had to be there. I don't
We have to
know.
be in proximity.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what it
Okay,
is.
have to be in range.
Yes.
For the walkies
yes.
to work. Got it.
Yes. So anyway, so she's like, "Oh my gosh, like I'm so sorry. Like I loved you. I just can't believe you died." And he's like, "Stay here with me." And she says, "Yes." She builds a house near his gravesite, and there she remains today. And apparently on that island or wherever, like in that community, she's like famous because everybody knows the story of like their love and stuff. And soulmates and whatnot, and they're just obsessed with it. And she's like somewhat of a celebrity in that little town.
I bet we could find out.
I
who
bet
she
we
is.
could find her. Yeah,
I'm tweeting her.
yeah.
I'm emailing her.
I hope he didn't change. The author didn't make the locations anonymous.
Oh.
I don't. Surely not. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna find her and I'm gonna be like, hey,
We covered you
listen
on
to our podcast. This is the last one I'm gonna do, and I wasn't gonna do it, but it's just so funny, so I'm just gonna do it anyways.
Okay, I'm ready.
This dude is a teenager. He in high school he was in like a band. He didn't have any trouble with the ladies or anything. Anyways, he goes to college to become a biologist. And one night he's in bed. It's 3 a.m. The bad time.
Oh my God, why did you just do that to me? She goes,
it's 3 a.m. and he hears a knock on his door, on his dorm room door. And he's like, what the heck? So he looks through the peephole. He doesn't see anything. Well, then he hears another knock. my God, like my friends or whatever are knocking on my door. Opens up the door and he sees this girl with black hair. She's pale. She's stunning. Very,
Is it
very
you?
pretty. It's me. Hi.
How'd you know?
And this girl stares at him and he goes, "Hi, what do you want?" And she's like, "I am looking for a really good time. Are you gonna be a good time?" And this college boy is
He's
like,
hell yeah,
he's like,
brother.
"I'm gonna be a good time, okay." So she starts pushing him in the door and she starts making out with him. And they make out or whatever. Well, he is like, it's 3 a.m. So like after they get done passionately whatever, they go to sleep. He goes to sleep immediately. He wakes up the next morning, she's not there. One night stand thing, you know. But he's like, I gotta know who this girl is. So he asks everybody around town, "Do you know this girl? Do you know this girl?" Everybody's like, "No, we don't know what you're talking about." And he's depressed. He's like, "Oh God, I'm never gonna see her again." 3 a.m. comes around, knock, knock, knock. And he opens up the door and it's her again. But before they start making out, he's like, "Okay, slow down, girl. What's your name?" And I don't even remember what he said her name was. It doesn't matter because they're anonymous. Anonymous.
Phenomena.
It's an enemy.
Anonymous.
Anyways, um, I don't know. Katie again. Her name's Katie again.
Perfect.
She's like, "My name's Katie," and so they go. They make love again. And she goes into the bathroom. And he's like, "Okay."
And she never comes out.
He waits for 20 minutes and he knocks on the door. He's like, "Hey, Katie, like, you in there?" Kind of like I do to Katie. I'm like, "Hey, Katie, I gotta go." Anyways, and she doesn't answer. So he just like barges in there and nobody's in there. So again, the next night, 3 a.m., knocks on the door. She starts trying to make out with him again. And he's like, "Slow your roll, girl. What's your name? Where are you from?" And she's like, "I told you I was here to have fun. That's it." Um, he found out. She's like, "I'm not like other girls."
She's
"I'm not like other girls. I'm dead."
oh, she's not quirky. She's deceased. We need to put that on a sweatshirt.
Oh, we're gonna have so many sweatshirts. It's gonna be so funny. Yeah, no, she's dead. And he's like, "What?" And he's like, she's like, "I died here so many years ago or whatever, and I can never leave this dorm. And so I just like walk around until you're the first person to open up this door on me." And like,
I just go around sleeping with whoever opens up the door.
pretty much. And she's like, "I'm just looking for a good time. That's why this can never be anything more than what it is." And he stays at that college for 4 years and continues this thing for 4 years. And at the very end of the book, it says, well, at the very end of this chapter, it said that he's now married, he has kids, like he graduated or whatever. And he says, "I'm telling you though, that the minute my wife divorces me, I'm going to get my PhD."
Stop. Oh my God. If I was his wife and I read that, I'd be like, goodbye.
Oh, yeah, it's anonymous though. Like, what if she doesn't even know that she had sex with a ghost
Multiple times.
multiple times and would go back to? He's like, "It's the best experience of my life." And he was the one I was talking about that was like, she knew exactly what to do. She knew exactly where to touch me to please me and whatever. So these ghosts, I guess they got it going on. I don't freaking know.
Well, damn.
I haven't finished the book and I'm so excited to because it's just so funny. Some of them are just
I'm gonna
so
read
funny.
it.
You should.
Well, we can't really rate this historical
Yeah, 'cause it's
accuracy because I guess it's case by case. If you're sleeping with a ghost, let us know
Yeah.
how accurate it was. But yeah, that was all we had this week.
Yep.
So
That was it. And that was like not a spooky one, but kind of a
yeah, it's
funny
like a
one.
funny little spooky kind
Yeah.
of ghosty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep.
adios,
Hope you
friends.
enjoyed. I just said goodbye. Hope you enjoyed those stories. We've talked a lot about sex during this thing.
That's okay.
Well, that's one thing they did have going in freaking Layla, though. God, they have
They were
They had
banging.
sex so many times, and I'm like, can we get to the point?
I'm done
Can we
reading
get
this.
to the point?
Okay, well,
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
bye. See you next week.
See you then.